joins Bernie and I now. And Zak, first of all, I mean, great FP3. Barely a hair's breadth between your two drivers in that session.
Yeah, I told them both to calm down a little bit when they were in the garage, and they weren't quite sure what I meant by that. And then it was, no, they're pushing each other hard. The car's good. I don't think the gap that you saw in P3 will be the same gap for whoever gets pole in front row. We see how close it is, so I fully expect it to be the usual qualifying shootout, but I think we're looking good so far.
I think, Zak, when we've seen your two drivers, there's been maybe tracks that have suited one over the other. You know, last week in particular, Oscar sort of shone, where Lando was sort of struggling a little bit. This week, I think, me personally coming into it, expected Oscar to shine again, given what happened last year. Lando's stepped up, at least at this stage. Let's see how quali goes. What do you put that down to? Is that just learning from each other? Is that the strength of having two good drivers?
I think that's definitely the strength of having two. They both look at each other's data. They drive a little bit differently, and so they're learning from each other. So I think that's exactly what you want with having two great drivers in your team, is they keep raising the bar on each other, and one will go, oh, I didn't know you could do that in that turn. And so they end up pushing each other. So it's a very healthy competition. It's exciting.
The gap to the next best in that session was big, but we saw last time in Bahrain, engines get turned up. It's a whole different situation in qualifying. Do you still think Mercedes are the closest runners to you right now? Do you still feel you have the edge over whoever it is?
I feel pretty good that we're in front at the moment, but not by as much as we saw in P3. Mercedes was very strong yesterday. They seem to have been the strongest kind of over the course of the season so far, so I don't see why that would change. Max is Max. He's always putting in great lap times. Charles was quick. So I think it's kind of the usual cast of characters, but yeah, I guess if I was a betting man, I'd expect to see George right there and Charles and the usual suspects.
I don't think you're going to answer this, Zak, but if you're a betting man, who's your money on between your two?
Ooh. Can you tie in motor racing? I guess it would be who put the lap time down first would be the...
Yes. Who first?
Yeah, that's, I think I will avoid. I think I will avoid that question.
Very diplomatic answer.
Can I ask you, though, I mean, the situation you have this season, it's great. You've got two drivers who at the moment look like they'll be vying for the championship, at least until somebody else can get a car that can reach your levels of performance. Is it a case of when, not if, that there's a situation where you need to step in with these two? Because we've talked about it before, and hot heads, if you like, there could be contact on track. You're waiting for a when, not if, and then it's handled, that situation?
Oh, I think it's definitely a matter of when than if. I think you have two racing drivers, whether in the same team or different team, that are next to each other for 24 races. Someone's going to lock a brake, go, so I'm kind of like looking forward to getting it over with, because I don't think it's going to be anywhere near as exciting as everybody thinks. I think it'll be a racing incident when that day comes. I think it's inevitable, and they're two great characters. Neither of them are hotheads, so we're not worried about it, and to a certain extent kind of looking forward to just getting it out of the way.
That's a strong position to be in, Zak, isn't it? Because, as Rachel says, you've got a comfortable lead in the Constructors' Championship, but for this stage of the season, very tight between your two drivers in the Drivers' Championship. Approaching this qualifying then, as you say, you don't know how close the pack is going to be. Going into Q1, maybe not as many soft tyres as you would ideally like for Jeddah, and both drivers know that qualifying ahead of the other is the way to win the race, potentially. How do you approach that Q1 across both drivers then? Here, anything can happen. Yeah,
I think, you want to make your first lap good to where you feel it's good enough that maybe you don't need to do another run, but, with how much these improvement on the track, it's going to have to be a decent gap. So we also, 27 corners, I think, on this circuit. You only have to get one wrong to go, I got to go again. So I think a lot of pressure on traffic management, because this isn't I've been watching the in-cars, and it's a bit scary how quickly these guys are coming past each other. So I think getting a good first lap in a nice banker would be good. Same challenge for everyone. So excited for qualifying.
I've just got one final question for you, Zak. A lot has been talked about Spain. There are certain teams who think from Spain onwards they will have an opportunity against you. What do you say to those comments? And what are your thoughts on it?
We're business as usual for us. So, but we see how quickly things change in the sport. You talk about where we are this time last year. I think Red Bull had won every race and won more races, and we're leading the constructors. And by the end of the year, they're third in the constructors. And Max obviously got it done, a great driver, but came under threat. So I think we just need to keep focusing on a race-by-race basis, and not kind of go look where we are because we're young in the season, and as it relates to Spain in particular.
The regulation change.
You know, the regulation change is just a regulation change, nothing that we're worried about.
Great. Thank you very much for joining us, Jack.
Thank you.
Zak, I should say. All the best in the session.
Thank you very much.